Okay, good evening, ladies and gents. Wanted to talk tonight about the boxing world has been making a lot of noise as of late of about Porter versus Terrence Crawford. Everywhere I go, especially the Facebook boxing groups, they make a lot of numerous posts about this fight. And they're already picking their favorites. Some of them are even placing bets, etc., etc. They're making a lot of noise, a lot of ruckus over Porter versus Crawford. However, I don't believe the fight will happen. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I have my reasons. But before I get to my reasons, I wanted to talk a little bit about where this whole deal started, or the root of the cause of it. Anyways, we have the root, talking about the root, or where this whole deal about the fight happening and whatnot. Anyways, we have ESPN here. We have Mike Coppinger from ESPN talking about the WBO ordering the fight, and yeah, he's talking about that they're giving them like 30 days to negotiate, and if not, then there's going to be a purse fit, yada, yada, yada. Now, yeah, and obviously Mike Hoppinger, he's a reliable source, and I'm pretty sure this is something that is happening. Okay, one of my first reason why I don't believe this fight would happen is that these boxing organizations, they don't have much control over ordering fights or mandating fights when it comes to world-class boxers. When it comes to high-profile matches, it's just from time to time I always hear that the WBO, the WBA, IBF, and WBC, they're ordering this fight, but then nothing happens. I mean, just from time to time you hear this, and it just nothing happens. So with this said, I just don't believe that they don't have a magic man in there. As a CEO or anywhere. I just don't. I think I don't know if it's due to corruption or maybe the promoters, they have a lot of control over the matter. But again, every time I hear this story about a boxing organization ordering a fight, ordering a high-profile fight in specific, it's just very likely that it doesn't happen. So that's my first reason. My second reason is, and this one is pretty obvious to a lot of boxing fans, is that Bob Arum and Al Heyman do not get along. I don't recall them making many fights in the past 5 or 10 years. I think rarely they probably work together, but they hate each other's guts. Especially Bob Arum. He's very vocal about it, about hating Al Heyman. And I'm pretty sure Al Heyman doesn't like him. I just kind of get the idea. So that's my short and second reason. My third reason is, and this one is related to the second reason, but I still have to make it its own reason because it's big enough for it. Anyways, my third reason is because even though these fighters, Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter, they're high profiles in the boxing world, they don't sell, they're not pay-per-view stars. They've participated in pay-per-view events. They've even mained in these events. Porter fought Spence, and that was like his first pay-per-view event. And yeah, he fought Spence, and they sold about, I think, like 225K of pay-per-view fights. However, aside from this, I don't think any of us see Porter as a pay-per-view star. I don't remember if he's fought after this fight, but he's just it was a pay-per-view event because of mostly because of Spence, and because it was a very competitive fight and whatnot. But he's no pay-per-view star. Crawford really is his own man. He's a star within Top Rank, but he's done pay-per-views before. I think he's done 2 or 3 maybe, and I think one of them he probably sold like 50 or 75K, which is pretty absurd. and I believe they did a pay-per-view. He did a pay-per-view with Amir Khan, and they sold, I don't think, more than 150K. And Amir Khan is a name. Okay, so I believe that due to Amir Khan, they were at least able to sell that much. I may be wrong. Maybe they sold like 125K. So, yeah, and the thing is that it's hard for, as it is, it's hard for Arum and Al Haymon to work together. And they're going to make a pay-per-view event with two fighters that don't really sell, then, you know, if they were to make the event, they would probably sell around 150, maybe 200K. And I don't think something like that is worthy of two, networks or promoters, high-profile promoters, to get together and split everything. It just wouldn't make sense financially, business-wise, etc. So, anyways, those are my reasons why I believe that the fight will not happen. Although I do believe that the possibility that it might happen. You have this website here, The Athletic, that they talk about, that they go more into detail about the head of the WBO, Francisco Paco Vargasel. He's talking about that he really wants to make this fight because it's a big fight, and that, you know, that let's see what he says. If they can't make it happen, then we should do something by recognizing who's the best and, you know, mandatory challenger to make big fights. So it kind of seems like they're trying to push for this fight. So maybe that itself, and due to boxing fans that are currently making a big deal about the fight, maybe there's a glimmer of a shiny glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel here. Maybe they're giving us a little bit of hope over the fight. Me personally, I want to see it. It'll be very interesting to see Porter versus Crawford. I believe the fight is. I don't see a clear winner. Though I slightly see Crawford as the winner. I believe it'll be a very competitive fight. I believe every fan would actually believe that it will be a very competitive fight, and it'll be, for the boxing fans, it'll be such a fight. Anyways, that's my take for tonight, and I don't know. Leave comments below and leave your opinion or whatever. Peace. Good night.